We are trying to complete obviously this past paper, so today we're doing the isometric drawing. I'm going to try get as many videos out before hopefully tomorrow, because I know that's when a lot of people are writing, but we'll see. So we have the given front view, top view and left view of a gauge. So this is our third orthographic projection. So that will mean this will be our top, our front and our left. Okay, then it says draw to scale 1 to 1. Make this into an isometric drawing, use P as the starting point. So just note that they give you a point P on your drawing sheet, and they also show you where to start your point P from, so that's very important. Draw construction, no hidden detail is required. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start making a line here at P, here in front of P, and then a line going up as well, just like this over here. Okay, then we want to have a look see. So this is quite a complicated looking drawing, I'd say, because there's just so much going on. There's so many lines if you just look at what's been given to you. So to start off with P, I think let's start by making this side view here where these pieces are kind of together, because I think that's just going to make things a lot easier. Except the only thing I'm finding is because I screenshotted this and then printed it, the things are a bit blurry. So if it's a little bit difficult, I'll try to explain it to you. So let's just start. Okay, let's start another way. So let's take this length here, 125, which is this length here, or which will be on that side there. So we have 125, so we're going to measure 12.5 over here. Okay, just there, we've got our point. Then we're going to draw, no, we're not going to draw, we're going to measure 50 on that same line. So here we're going to get a measurement of 50 on that line, just like that over there. And then we are going to get our hexagon drawn in. So we just need to see, there's so many measurements here on lines here, it's so confusing. Let me see if I can print like a better picture so that we can work a little bit easier. Okay, I'm honestly just being silly, so let's just get started here. So we want to make a hexagon, but we can't get this measurement here. So we have that length there, so we're going to use an auxiliary view because they give us the length of the side. So what I want you to do quickly is draw a place for your auxiliary view at the top. So I want you to make a sort of shape just like that. Okay, then I'm just going to grab my compass quickly. Okay, so once you've got that line, you're going to grab your compass, okay, and you're going to take a measurement of 34, because that's obviously this length here for your hexagon, and you're going to draw basically a sort of circle effort thing here, okay, just like that. And then you're going to make a line over there and a line over there on your circle, using the same length on your compass, 34, and then you're basically going to connect all these dots together. So I just want to do that quickly. Okay, once you've drawn that in, we've got that there. Also, please note that you do actually get marks for auxiliary views, so don't be shy to draw them in. You get marks for them. So yeah, draw them in. Okay, so let's just have a look here. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to basically draw lines down from your view, and you're going to make a line lengthwise like that, so that you've got this sort of shape over here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to measure it. So to me it looks like, let's get a better measuring ruler here. So it looks to me like it's 29 to 30 mils. So you're going to say 57, so I'm going to say minus 29, because it obviously looks smaller than 30 to me. So when you work that out, let me just do it on my calculator, makes things a lot quicker. Okay, so 57 minus 29. Okay, so 28. So you have 28, meaning that this measurement is now 28 that you've worked out. So now that we've worked that out, we're going to take our ruler, and from where we made this 50 dots over here, we're going to draw a line going outwards like that. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we're basically going to draw as if we're putting in our hexagon. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to measure 28 on that line that we've made over here, and I want you to grab this measurement over here, whatever that might be, and you're putting it on this line. So this measurement goes on this line, and then 28 will go on that line. So I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, once you've done that, you should have your point over there and your point over there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this point up. You'll see I made a little middle point. So that's because I used my compass to get it. So there's a middle point. It would be beneficial for you to make that line as well at some point. So I'm just going to leave that point there for when I need it. Okay, so now we're going to bring this one forward, and we are going to bring this line over here across like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your compass again, and you're going to grab this measurement to the flat piece here. And the reason why is because it's obviously not going to be 34 because it's just smaller than your circle. So once you've grabbed that point, you're going to put it on your line over here. Okay, you're going to draw a line across. So let me do that quickly. Okay, when you've got that line over there, you're going to grab your measurement of this point here, and all you're going to do is you're going to just stick it on that line. So there you're going to make your point over there, and you're going to make your point over here. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to basically draw in your hexagon, but don't make it solid yet because obviously we still need to get the height of it. So just draw it in, and then we'll make the height of it. Okay, once you've drawn it in, it should look like this. So now I want you to draw it up, and then I want you to measure 26. So basically what I mean is we're going to take all the points. So the points at the back here, 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 and here. And you're going to just bring those lines up. So I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, once you've done that, it should look like this. Then obviously there's a height of 26. So you're going to grab your ruler. You're going to measure 26. And then all you're going to do is you're basically going to bring that line across to all your necessary points. So we'll have a line across over there, across to this point over here. Okay, and then we obviously need to measure 26 at these points here because this is an angle, so we can't just bring it across. It won't work. So let's just measure 26 again. So there we go, there's 26. And then all you're going to do is you're going to draw your line here across like that, and then you'll just connect this point to that point and that point to that point. I'm going to draw the things that need to be solid in solid quickly, and then I'm going to show you what we need to do, because obviously there's a piece here that needs to be left open, which we're going to draw in as well. So let me just do that quickly, and then we'll move on. Okay, when you're done, it should look like this. Now we want to bring our middle point up. So all we're going to do is I am going to bring that little point that I made here up like that. Once I've brought it up, I'm going to just bring it forward just like that. Okay, so now we want to get this little piece in here. So obviously we know this is a length of 15 because this is 75. So we have 30 and we have, no, not yet. Okay, it won't be 15 because you see there's a little gap here. So it'll be 30 from this point, and we'll have a gap here. Okay, let me just figure it out and then I'll come back. Okay, they give us the measurement here, it's 10, but we need to notice that it's not straight in the middle, so we need to measure 30, and then we're going to get this line first. Okay, so we're going to take our hexagon over here. we are going to measure 30. Okay, and then we are going to measure 10, just like this. And then we see that the width of this shape here is 13. So we're going to basically bring these lines forward over here. Alright, and once we've done that, we're going to take a measurement of 13. So it should be, oh my goodness, there. And then we're going to draw a line across, and then I'm going to make it solid, so I'm just going to do that quickly. Okay, so one thing I want to point out is that I'm not going to make the back here solid, because it looks like this back flows all the way back here. So it would be pointless to do that and erase it. So before we do that, all I want to do is I want to get the circle in, which is obviously in the middle of the hexagon here. And then there is a middle line for the circle. So if we take our ruler and we use it to measure here, we see that it's 35 from the point P. So from here we're going to measure 35, okay, which will be that point there. And then I just want to extend this line a little bit so that we get an accurate way of drawing it up. Okay, just like this, and then you see there's our middle point here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw the circle, and I'm not going to show it because I don't want to make too a long video. It's already sitting at 11 minutes and we haven't gotten anywhere. So I'm going to do that quickly, but I do have a video on how to make an isometric circle. So if you need help, there is that video to show you how to do it, but I'm just not going to show it on this video. So I'm going to do that, and then when I've done that, we'll continue. Alright, and when it's done, it should look like this. So just remember, when you have a thickness, you always need to make sure that you don't have to draw like the depth of your circle in. So what I mean is, if you have your circle like this, you need to make sure that you don't have to draw another circle in there to show like that there's a bit of depth. In this case, there's none of that, so it's okay. Okay, so now let's move on. So now I've said, because this piece extends to the back here, we're going to get this measurement here to establish what the back is. So from P, the back is 44 plus 38, which will give us, I think, 82, but let's just check. Yeah, 82. So we're going to take our ruler here, and we're just going to measure 82. And once we've got that measurement, we're just going to draw a line going all the way back here, like that. Okay, and then when we've got that, we're going to carry on. So we've got that back point. Now we can basically bring all of these all the way to the back. So what I mean by that, did I make this point solid? I did too. Let's see, but it looks like it stops there, so that's okay. Okay, so we have a new piece here, it looks like. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so we're going to draw a solid piece over here, just like this over here. Okay, so this piece becomes solid. Then we're going to find this height going up, which appears to be 50. So we are going to measure 50. Okay, and once we've got our measurement of 50, we're going to bring that measurement backwards as well as forwards a little bit. Okay, so then what we're going to do is, as I said, we have a look here. And we have a very interesting sort of thing going on here. So we got 50, then we've got 40, and then there's sort of like a gap between these parts here. So what I'm going to do is draw 44. Okay, 44 from this point here. And then where 38 is, I'm going to leave it. So going to draw 44 at this point here. Okay, I'm going to draw a slight line going up to show this one here, make a measurement of 20, and then I'm going to draw 5 up, and then I'm going to stop there for now. Okay, so let me just do that quickly. So just to explain again, I've got my 44 points, so I'm going to draw a line up, which will be this line. I'm going to draw a line across to the point of 38, then I'm going to draw a line up going to 5, and then once I've got the 5, I'm going to stop. Okay, then when you're done, you should have so far something that looks like this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this line solid, and I'm going to bring this line up to this point and this line up to this line here, because if you have a look at that point, do you see it touches this height? So I'm going to do that quickly, and then once I've done that, we're going to move on. Okay, so there's something where I need to fix because I did not check the drawing properly. So this is actually a slope if you have a look over here. So where that slope goes, so it obviously starts here. Then we're going to just extend those lines. We're going to have to do a bit of erasing, so sorry for misleading you. We're going to take the measurement of 25, which you see over here. Okay, because that's where the slope ends, but it also ends at this height of 50. So we are going to take 25 to this point over here. Okay, and we're going to draw a line going up, across, and up again, just like that. And then because of the 50 mark, let me just have a look. See, that's from P, so we can actually do 25 again to find the correct height. So we're going to measure 25 on this point as well, and we're going to bring that point up to the height here, and then we're going to bring it straight across onto this line here, and you'll see, oh, I also could have just brought it across from here. I'm being silly. And then we will bring it down. So I'm going to do that quickly because I believe we are going to see it. I don't think our view is going to get interrupted. And then I'm going to just correct it and make a few extra lines solid so that you can see what I've done. But basically with isometric, my only advice would just be to draw, and you will correct as you go on, just like I'm doing now. So even if you feel like you get stuck, just draw as much as you can see, and eventually something will start to turn into something else. So just do that. Okay, so you'll see this is what it looks like now. So there was quite a little bit of changing. So you see I brought those lines there. You can see where there's like a faint line. So basically, because this wall, this height still kind of covers it, you need to account for that. So draw everything always in construction, and then when you see the bigger picture, then you can fill it in solid. So this is what it will look like. So this is still your height of 50. We just made everything solid that needed to be solid. Obviously, you will still see some side pieces here because all you're seeing at the edge here is this little piece here. And then you've still got your heights and so on. So now before we move on, what I want to do is I want to just draw these parts here in solid that I said we should do, so that we can move on to one of the more technical pieces. Okay, when you're done, it should look like this over here. So if you have a look here, you'll see they say this is 30 degrees. So from this line here, it's 30 degrees, right? So in order to get our point, we basically have to draw an auxiliary view. So we're going to start by having a line at the bottom just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our 30-degree set square. And we're just going to make a long sort of 30-degree line, okay? Then what we are going to do is we are going to find the height. So we've used 20, so the height left over, will be 25, because we're starting from this 5 line here. So that's a height of 25, okay? Because there we have 20, 25, so that will leave us with 25 left, because obviously the whole height is 50. So we're going to find basically where we measure 25 on this drawing over here. Okay, which is at a height at this point here. Because if you have a look, that's 25. Okay, maybe not quite. Let's actually just use the compass. So let's get 25 as our measurement, and then you're going to just make a line where it kind of lines up. See, because here it doesn't quite line up, so about here. So to make it easier, actually what you can do is you can just get the height. So say, let's do this differently. Let's do it up here so I can do it again. So you take your ruler, you draw a line across like that. Okay, you take 25, so there's the 25 line. You're going to make a line at this point here. Okay, and basically once you've got that, you're going to just draw a 30-degree line going down like that. Okay, once you've done that, you can draw a sort of box around it, because that's going to help you when you put your measurements in. So like that. So now what you can do is you can basically grab your measurement. So grab it on your compass like this over here. Okay, you're going to go to that 5 line, you're going to make an arc. You're obviously going to have to extend your line a little bit. So once we have extended the line, it will be at this point here, and then all we're going to do is we are going to bring it up like that. So you see it stops here, and then you're going to just connect your points together. So I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, and it will look like that. Now before I even continue, we're going to have to do a lot more erasing. There's going to be more erasing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all that erasing part done with, because I've said to you how many times now do it in construction lines, and I've drawn it solid, and now you guys are probably like, what are you saying? So what we're going to do is we're going to just do this difficult section here, and then we'll complete the back section here. So the difficult section would basically be this part over here. If you have a look at the way things are being done here, so we know that it's a height of 50 here, and the full height is 100, meaning this will be 100, and it's got an angle of 45 degrees, which is what we need to get from this point to make our sort of design. So let's erase this funky circle, and basically you're going to do the exact same thing you did here. So you're going to draw a line. You're going to draw a line going up with the measurement of 50, and you're going to take your 40-degree set square and make a line and a block around it. So I'm going to do that because I don't think it's rocket science, and then I'll explain to you when I'm done, just in case you need help. Okay, so here it is over here. You'll see I started with a corner. Okay, I drew a line up to the measurement of 50. Okay, took my 45 degrees and drew a line down, and where that point ended I drew a block across around it, Okay, so now that we've got that, we're going to get the rest of the height. So we're going to just take our ruler, and we're going to do that, and then we're going to take a measurement of 50. So there's our 50 measurement. Okay, and from there we're going to draw a line going across like this. Okay, then what we are going to do is we're going to take our compass. We're going to grab this measurement that we got here. So it will be this over here, and then we're going to just plot it at this point over here. Okay, and basically that point all the way to this point here will be part of your 45 degrees. So this one is going to be solid, so I'm going to draw that in so that you can basically see what I mean. Okay, it will look like this over here. Then you'll see it's basically this part over here. So there's obviously a thickness to it, because if you look over here, there's a thickness. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw a line from the top point across like this. We know the thickness is 25, so we're going to measure 25 at that point. Okay, which I'm going to quickly do just like that, and then you're going to connect that point with your other 25 points over here, and you're going to draw everything solid. So I'm going to do that quickly, and then we'll carry on. Okay, now that I've done that, you will notice that I extended the line all the way there as well, just because it's going to line up. So that's all. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a measurement of 10, of a thickness of 10, I mean. So what you're basically going to do is you're going to take your ruler and you're going to measure 10. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to do this. You're going to take a ruler. You're going to measure 40, because that leaves space of 10. No. Okay, because they specifically say 10 from this point, right? Sorry, 10 from this point. You have to take a ruler and put it lopsided like this. Then you're going to take your measurement of 10 over there. And then you're going to draw your line across like that. So if you have a look, see, right, you can see that it was nowhere near the original 10 mark we made. So that's why we're doing that. Okay. And then, based off of that, what you can basically do if you want to, if it makes things easier for you, you can grab your compass. Okay. And you can grab the measurements here. Okay. And basically put it at 2 different points if you want to. So say here and here. Right? Because if you bring these lines down, it makes it a little bit accurate. Okay. That was very skewed. Just want to do that again. Okay. And then from this point as well. Do you see where those points are? And then you're going to basically join them together with your ruler and make a line over there. So I'm going to do that quickly so that you can see what it will end up looking like. Okay, when you're done, it should look like this. Okay, so you see I've erased a few lines again, here and here. So again, don't be like me. Make sure you draw light construction lines first. Okay, so now we see that there's kind of like a roof that goes across for a bit. So it's going to overlap a little bit here, but that's just one of those things. As long as the marker can see that you did actually use your auxiliary views and things, you will get your marks. So just make sure that they can see it, I guess. Otherwise, draw it again. So let's try to figure out what this measurement would be, because it's obviously going to be needed for the last little bit. So if this measurement here, what did this amount to? Because we know the whole measurement is 125. So this whole measurement was 50. So 125 minus 50 gives us 65, I think. 125 minus 50, 75. Okay. So that means your height or your length of it will be 75. So there we're going to measure. Going to take 75 like that. And we are basically going to draw our roof in. So I'm going to do that quickly because it's just going to be making that a rectangle. And then obviously there'll be a few more pieces to do when we do the inside bit. So let me just do that quickly. Okay, when you're done, it should look like this. So you'll see there's your roof. So that's what we've got so far, which you can see is actually quite a lot. So also practice your time management with drawings. Maybe at some point I'll give you a guideline on what drawings should take you so much sort of time. But for now, let's just continue. So we know that this thickness now becomes 20. So we are going to take our ruler. We're going to measure a thickness of 20. Okay, at that point over there. And we're going to bring our line straight down like that. Okay, but we're not done yet because we still need to bring this line across. So I'm going to just do that quickly and then I'm going to make it solid and then we'll continue again. Okay, it will look like this. Then we obviously want to finish the frame here to show the rest of the frame here. So if you have a look, this P line is basically the same level as this point because that's where the P starts. So it will go all the way back here. You can see it's already touching because if you follow that line and the line I made down here, it basically connects here. So I'm going to just draw it in solid so we can see better what we're working with. Alright, and it will look like this, and then obviously this is a height of 10. So there they give you that measurement. So all you're going to do is you are going to, oh, it's a shame, even this one's 10. This one looks very big because of the measurement I've done. So let's just change this quickly as well. This is basically like a whole half-an-hour video of me making mistakes basically. Okay, and then let's just put 10 over here. Okay, so let's just start at the bottom because the top will fix quite easily. So at the bottom, we're just going to make a solid line over there. Stops where our 20 is. Okay, the top, we're going to draw a line across as well. Oh my goodness. Let me just erase everything. I'll do it again. Okay, before I even make it solid, let's just do a light construction line. Okay, and then you'll see that this line will not change. You're just going to extend it to touch this line over here, right? So it will look like that. And then I'm going to make everything solid, including this line here. So let me do that quickly. Okay, so it will look like this so far. Then the easiest last steps here, we have to make a line going across here, obviously. Make it going all the way back because we're going to need it for the rest of that bit. And then this will become a thickness of 25. So I'm going to just draw that in so you can see what it will look like, but I'm not going to show you because you're basically just going to draw lines and make measurements. Okay, and it looks like this over here. Okay, so we're nearly done. So now we can go back to this drawing and you can see that that line just goes straight and it's a measurement of 30. So from that point here, we are just going to make a line like this. Okay, and we are going to measure 30 on that line. Grab our point over there. Okay, then we're going to go to this top line here, okay, which is basically this point here. Okay, and we're just going to make a line across for reference. So let's just make that across there for a bit of reference. Okay, then once we've got that, we want to figure out the measurement of this point here. Which they show you all of these measurements here. That's crazy. Looks like we're going to have to do a little bit of a auxiliary view because this is going to be like a turny thing, if I can explain it to you that way. So okay, let me just have a look see, then I'll find a way to make it easier to explain. Okay, so this is a typical like one view helps the other, so this line you can make solid just as I've done. Now we're going to have to basically draw this length on this side here, so we know it starts at this point and goes all the way to this line. So we know our measurement was 82, right? Let me just grab it from here with a better ruler. So 82. Okay, then we're going to go all the way to this line here and we're going to measure 82 as well, okay, at that point over there where it ends. Once we have done that, we're going to take our ruler and draw a line going across like that over there. You see it kind of lines up with this one here. Well, it does line up. Okay, just like this over here. So you have like a sort of square thing at the back. Now we know that this corner starts exactly at this corner here, so we're just going to make a little point so we know that. There we have a measurement of 30, which is in the same line as this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line down like that, and I'm going to draw a line across like that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 30 just like that. So there's our 30 points. So once I've got that point, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to join this point with this line here to get this line here, which is at a bit of a slant. So I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, you'll see so far it looks like this. You can even make this one here solid if you'd like. Okay, so there's still our middle point and there's our other point, and obviously we know that this point lines up with this point here at the top. Okay, so it will be just, oh my goodness, this is very annoying, like that over there. And then we'll have this point, which will still be a length of 30. So we're going to measure 30 at this point here. Okay, we're going to bring it forward onto the line that we've made over here, just like that. And then I'm going to draw it solid so that you can see what it will end up looking like. This one I messed up, this line, we're going to have to redo that, sorry. But yeah, this line will be the same, so let me just draw that in. Okay, there was something I missed here and I have to redo it. So this point obviously does connect with this point here, right? Because you see that point connects with that point, so that's fine. This measurement here we did is completely perfect. But what I did not realize is that this lifts over here at the back. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to make a line like this. Okay, we are going to, from this 3 points here, basically take a line back, and we're going to measure. So this line's already here, so I'm just going to use it, 30 degrees. We're going to then bring it across onto this line here, and then bring it up from that line onto this point here to get this point. Okay, so when you have a look, these points will connect together to make a weird square thing. So let me connect it. Okay, it will look like this. And then the last one, we are just going to measure 30 on this line here, just so that I can get an accurate, oh, this one's already 30, okay. We're going to bring this line to the back here then, okay, and basically going to draw this in solid. So let me do that quickly. Okay, so it will look like this over here. Then what I'm going to do, because we still need to get the height for this line here, is going to bring across the line here, because we know this is our end point over here. Okay, and I'm going to bring it all the way to the back here, so that I can use this back point to find the middle of that line, which will be here. Then I'm going to measure 30, which will be here, and then I'm going to bring that point up to this point here, and then I'm going to draw in the triangle and make a line down. So I'm going to just show you the last little bit. So I'm going to draw it in and then explain it. Okay, it will look like this. So you see that 30 line, I brought it up, made that solid, because obviously we'll see that, and then just connected the rest of the points together. So if you got annoyed with me while watching this because I kept making mistakes, I apologize, but this one was actually quite difficult, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's nice that they're putting something challenging out there, but my recommendation would then be to just keep practicing, which I haven't been doing. So keep practicing so that you don't fall like victim to these kinds of questions. So this one was quite difficult, but I hope that it still helped you even with the little blunders. And I'll hopefully get the next video out soon.